Okay, for part B, again, we're not going to use this 4 cos theta minus 2 sine theta. We're going to use what we worked out from part 1. So we've got 25 minus root 20 cos theta plus 26.6. That's all being squared. So because we're squaring that, I'm just going to change that to minus 20 bracket cos theta plus 26.6 squared. Now it asks us to find the greatest and least values of this whole function here. Normally we would say the greatest value is when we take away the smallest amount possible, and if we were looking for the smallest amount of a cos value, that would normally be -1, but we're squaring this. So if we took that to be -1 and then squared it, we would actually be getting a bigger value than if we didn't take if we took nothing away at all. So the smallest value is going to come from when this cos theta plus 26.6 term is equal to 0. So we want this whole thing to be equal to 0, and therefore the greatest value is going to just be 25. And that happens when cos of theta plus 26.6 is equal to 0. And that's when theta plus 26.6 is equal to 90. So if I take that 26.6 away, that gives me a value of 63.4. So the greatest value is 25 when theta is equal to 63.4. So we've got 25 when theta is 63.4. What about the smallest value? The smallest value is going to be when the biggest amount gets taken away. So the biggest amount that gets taken away is going to be when cos is equal to, when this whole bit here is equal to 1. And so that will give us 25 minus 20 times 1. 1 squared, so just still 1. So that's going to be the smallest value is going to be 5. We've said already that it's when cos theta plus 26.6 equals 1. Inverse cos of 1 is 0. But we're looking for the smallest positive value of theta. So if I took 26.6 away from 0, I'd get a negative number. So we need to think about the cos graph and think about when else I'm going to get a 1. So the other time I'm going to get a 1, or a minus 1 in fact. It could be when cos theta equals minus 1, because we're going to square it and we're still going to have a 1 here. And actually that minus 1 happens before we get to 1 again. That's not minus 1. Minus 1 is here. Before we get to this 1 again. And this is at 180. This is at 360. So the smallest value is going to be when theta plus 26.6 isn't equal to 0. That's no good to us. It's not when it's equal to 360, it's actually going to be when it's equal to 180. And if we take 26.6 off 180, we get 153.4. So that is actually going to be the first time this function hits its smallest value. Okay, so quite a complicated question there. Lots of ways you could go wrong. Hopefully I've explained it in a way where you can see where the numbers are coming from. Let me know if anything doesn't make sense.